In this video, we're going to talk about finite differences and how to, basically what that means is to find the equation for a specific table. So in this particular problem here, we are given a sequence, and a sequence always starts at x equals 1. So when I look right here, my sequence is 2, 0, -2, -4, and -6. So that means that the first x term is 1, the next one is 2, 3, so on and so forth. So we're going to put that in our table down here. So when x is 1, y is 2, and then just fill it in from that point on. They are also asking us to solve for the 62nd term right here. So I'm going to put that term down here and deal with that later. So right now, the first thing that you do, and I'm going to be writing the steps as we go just to make sure that everyone's good with that. The first thing that we're going to do is you always want to find your delta y over delta x. So the first step is to find your rate of change. So we're going to come back to our original problem here. So my rate of change, remember, you do delta y, which is minus 2. I apologize. And you do your delta x. So I'm just going to continue that for the table. So as you can see, it is -2 over 1 the whole way through. So we're going to write that because sometimes the fractions will be different and we need to make sure that they all reduce down to the same thing. Which in this case, since they're all the same, you have your coefficient. So remember, delta y over delta x is your coefficient of your rule. And your coefficient is always attached to the letter. So we have -2, which is our coefficient, and we're going to be multiplying it by our first x value. So notice that the x is in parentheses, so that's why we put the x in these parentheses over here. -2 times 1 is only -2. We need to add something to it to get to +2, and that adding is +4. So we check it with another set of ordered pairs. -2 times +2 is -4. When we add 4, that gets us to 0. So that is the rule for this table. And I'm just going to finish out the process here. So our rule is -2x plus 4. And that will equal y. So this extra that we found right here, that is called the constant. So notice step 1 was to find your coefficient. Step 2 is to find what do you need to add or subtract to get to your answer. So then we plug it in for the x equals 62 term, and that will end up being 124, negative 124, plus 4, and it's -120. And that's all finite differences is. So remember that the equation for this table is a general equation. It is your rule equals your y. So since our rule is -2x plus 4, the equation will just have equals y attached to it. And that's all finite differences are.